I greet you all in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. I welcome you once again to my ministry. Let's go into today's word. Today we are reading from the book of John, chapter 6. We're reading from verse 12. Okay, we're reading verse 12 rather. It reads, "When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, 'Gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted.'" And then we're going to read from the book of Matthew chapter 14, verse 20. As soon as this thing comes up, okay. Matthew chapter 14, verse 20 reads, "They all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over." Let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 6, verse 43. And let's hear what it says. Mark 6, chapter 40, verse 43, it says, "And the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces of bread and fish." Now, 3 times the Bible talks about this instance. This was when, after Jesus had fed the 5,000 with a few loaves of bread and 2 fish, where he had multiplied. You know, oftentimes we we read the Bible and all we can think of is, spiritual things, and sometimes we forget that the Bible teaches us, simple daily, it guides us with our daily lives, and it teaches us simple things as well concerning life, and also highlighting some of the things that we take for granted and God cares a lot about. And in this particular case, we are talking about something that I think most people will overlook: food wastage, and how God really feels about it. And let's look at what Luke chapter 16, verse 10 says. It says, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." Now, fine, you think about it and say, okay, maybe food wastage, and most people may not take it that serious, but let's look at what studies are saying. I was reading the UNEP food waste report for the index for the 2024 year. It says the world wastes around 1.1 billion tons of food in a year, and 60% of that is wasted at household level. 28% of it is by the food services industry, and then around 12% by the retail sector. And with a staggering cost of around 940 to 1 trillion, $940 billion to around $1 trillion in cost. Now, when you look around, you can see there's food shortage. There's a lot of homeless people who are going without food, who are going hungry without food. There is just people struggling, especially in this day and age where things are just expensive. Now, one might say, perhaps, but the Bible mentions this, what Jesus said about food and waste, 3 times. You can already see that God takes this thing seriously. God takes everything concerning us seriously, and he understands where you might not see the bigger picture, but he's able to can see that there's just so much food that is wasted. And food wastage of course, results in a lot of things. We complain about global warming and a whole lot of other things, but we are still the consumers. Well, I'm using the word consumption relatively, because clearly consumption doesn't mean it comes into our tummies. Most of it, we waste it as well. So there's a lot of things that goes with our overall consumption, and we are just depleting the natural resources that we have. But it's worse that we just depleting to waste it when some of us are starving. It just doesn't make sense. But we can see that it's something that is displeasing to God as well. And it got me thinking as well, to say, especially when you look at Luke chapter 16 verse 10, when it says, to whoever can be trusted with little can be trusted with more. Could this perhaps also be one of the reasons why you find that some people are still struggling, no matter what they do? Perhaps the Lord is not opening his arms to bless those people, because he can see something that they don't see. They are wasteful, and he just doesn't see the need to actually just give you more, because instead of sharing with others, you are just wasteful. So I think it's one of the things that we need to understand, that the Bible is not just a spiritual book, but it is a guide, and you've seen how it has established foundations for a whole lot of things, for a whole lot of systems that we have today. And you can see it here as well, that waste is something that the Lord does not want. And Jesus made it clear that as much as he could miraculously feed 5,000 from nothing, but he made sure that the 12 baskets that were left are not wasted. So who are you and me to waste food when the provider of the food does not waste food, when he makes sure that nothing is wasted? So those who have ears to hear, they will hear me. Those who don't, I guess they don't. But I believe that we can all make a difference. I believe there's so many ways that we can make sure that we do not contribute to the 1 billion tons of food wasted when our fellow brothers, in the streets are struggling. They have nothing to eat. We can make a difference, and I believe, I know that will be pleasing to God. So I just wanted to share this message with you guys today. It touched me when I was reading the word, and I came across how Jesus dealt with leftover food, and it touched me. So I thought I'd share with you, to say we can make a difference, and we can be pleasing to God. As always, I pray this message has blessed you. I pray it encourages you to develop food management, better food management practices, or whatever you want to call them. But basically, I hope that we could not waste, rather we share with those in need, and it is something that will be pleasing to God. So yeah, once again, I hope the message has blessed you as it has blessed me. Until we meet again in our next video, stay blessed and peace.